There we go. I think this is a little bit better. Sorry about all the confusion on that last one. I tried doing the broadcast from my phone and apparently my mic is just destroyed. You know what I think it is? I think the microphone on my phone is ruined from just putting it in my pocket all the time. So it was like probably full of pocket lint and everything. Everyone says way better. Okay, so I apologize for that. I'm happy to be able to hop on here and do this little recap. First off, I have to get something off my chest because I know there were some people that were confused on the fast overall. And I just want to explain something really quick before I go into the details of things, because I feel kind of bad because I think some people were confused and it left a lot of people hanging. So when I posted that day one video of the fast, I had said, guys, like I'm going to do as much as I can in a Facebook group, like a private free Facebook group. The reason I did that wasn't because I was trying to like neglect my YouTube crowd at all, like not at all. That's the last thing I'd want to do. The hard part is YouTube makes it really difficult. I can't create like a little ecosystem to be able to communicate in a private way on YouTube. Like if I post video updates about the challenge or about the fast, everyone that's on my channel gets them. And we had about 50,000 people that said they were going to do it, but we've got 1.6 million people on the channel. So that would mean everyone would be getting notifications. Everyone would be getting things, even if they're not doing the fast. So I figured I'll go ahead and create the Facebook group. And that way everyone could just, I posted tons of live broadcasts. I did all kinds of things in there. It was super interactive. So for those of you that weren't able to hop in that Facebook group, I apologize. I didn't mean to like leave you hanging through the fast. I just wanted to do most of the updates there. Let me say, it was a tough one. Okay. And I'll be honest, I'm curious to hear everyone's results. And I know people are already like rocking and rolling. And guys, if you do, I know I won't be able to read all of these, but if you can, just comment where you're watching from, because I'd love to say hello to a few people. I know I've got Tammy, see Alan, Victor, Hickenbottom. Man, I won't be able to rattle off everybody's name because it's coming in so fast, but go ahead and comment where you're watching from, just so that I can at least review later. Jack, what's going on in South Beach, the British Baker in Connecticut. We've got Jennifer in Dallas. We've got, oh my gosh, it's going so fast. You guys are looking at the live chat. It's crazy. Man, this was awesome. Okay, so let me go ahead and while people are commenting where they're watching from, and I can explain a little bit about what I experienced during this fast and share some of the things that, share some of the tips that you can use going forward and everything like that. Because after a fast, you're in a perfect prime position to be able to change your life. Okay, your gut biome resets, so many things reset. So let's take advantage of that. But I'll tell you I'll tell you my experience. This weekend was my wife's birthday weekend. So it was set for me to go ahead and have a little bit of some off time in terms of my diet. So what I did is just had a cleaner dessert. So there's this place local to where I live near Thousand Oaks, Malibu area, that is called Karma Baker. So I had started off my fast the night before with having a really clean gluten-free slice of cake. Now, clearly that kicks me out of keto. So I think it made the first day of my fast really, really, really difficult, because I went from a high blood sugar spike, because I don't really eat a whole lot of carbs, to the next day just plummeting. So the first day I was so hungry, whereas normally it wouldn't be an issue. So the first 24 hours, just a serious struggle. And, but then the next day, the second day, things work out really well. Now, this is my first rodeo. I do a lot of 3-day fasts, but the fun part was how many people participated in it with me. Like, it was just amazing. And those of you that follow me on Instagram or anything like that probably saw I posted a couple pictures. Like, I leaned out big time. I lost 11 pounds in 3 days. I was already pretty lean, but it got me, it definitely shaped me up quick. So I'm curious, those of you that did this fast, not that the scale is all that matters. What did you notice in terms of weight loss over the last 3 days when you did this? In the meantime, while I'm waiting for people to reply, I'm going to answer a super chat question. It says, hey, from Portland, ended at 44, heart pounding, thought I had enough salt water, might have been too much caffeine. Next time. Yeah, Ginger Ninja, that happens. Sometimes too much caffeine when you're on a fast can really mess you up. So that's why I said, actually within the Facebook group, I did a video the first day. I said, you actually may want to reduce your caffeine, simply because you have so many catecholamines, so much adrenaline, so much epinephrine that's flowing through your system when you are doing a fast, that you almost don't need caffeine. Anyone else here experience the most abundant mental energy and mental focus? It was almost too much. I couldn't sleep the second night because my brain had so much energy. Did anybody else experience sleeplessness? I'm curious. Wow, I've seen a lot of people with all their weight loss. This is awesome to see, guys. Just so you know, I can't like holler out everyone's like shout out everyone out, but man, it's like blowing up my screen how many people are replying with their weight loss and everything like that. And I will see this. So Did anyone, okay, a lot of people saying they definitely had trouble sleeping. So this is a common thing. All this has to do with is, of course, your body adjusting to all the different levels of catecholamines. Again, so I use that word a lot, but adrenaline, epinephrine, it's all flowing through your system at a high level because you're essentially in fight or flight mode. And when you're in fight or flight mode, your body doesn't want to go to sleep. So it's interesting, like my body was physically tired, but my mind was just wired. It was crazy. And then yesterday was the day I broke my fast, and I'll share with what I broke my fast with in a minute. But yesterday was difficult because I had to make some pretty serious decisions, like in business. I had to move some things around and do some important stuff. And I felt like I had so much mental energy that I couldn't concentrate. Like it was just so much that I felt like I needed to do like some crossword puzzles just to get the energy out of my mind, which is really cool. I mean, it's a good thing. It tends to happen, right? But what I've noticed with fasting is fasting works really well if you're going to be focused on one task. If you're focused on one task, then fasting lends itself great because it's designed to get you hyper-focused. Like if you think about our ancestors and how it would have worked there with longer term fasts, we would have become hyper-focused with one area of our brain designed to go and hunt and ultimately, get ourselves food. The fact that we multitask so much in today's day and age is a relatively new thing in the grand scheme of things. So fasting doesn't lend itself well to multitasking because we're in energy prioritization. We're in conservation mode. So that conservation mode really makes it so that we can be focused on one thing, but it's really hard to do multiple things. So did anyone else experience that? Just say focus if you felt like you were focused on one thing, but the moment you had to multitask, it was hard. We have a super chat that came in from Honk Urton. I just want to shout this out. Said, had a blast doing the 3-day fast, Thomas. Taking my angry girlfriend out for a steak tonight. She's mad at me for skipping dinners the past 3 days. Hope you're still enjoying your bottles. Do here's the cool thing is that my wife was actually pleased. She was like, I don't have to cook. So this is great. The house ended up super clean. Why? Because I was doing anything I could to keep my mind off of food. Like I usually don't even get that hungry, but the hard part is when my wife's still cooking, she's cooking and she's feeding the baby. Of course, it's right in front of me. And it's like, oh man, I'm hungry. So, and I'm human. So I would just go and clean the house. I would do the dishes. If you've ever seen the movie Requiem for a Dream, I was like the mom on Requiem for a Dream. I was like scrubbing the house, everything. My wife's like, I love when you fast. So anyway, it's really funny. Yeah, so many people commented that they were focused. It's wild. So some people said, Thomas, you survived. Yes, I survived. I've got something kind of funny to tell you though. Those of you that follow me on Instagram, things like that might know this because I share a lot of my personal life on Instagram because again, YouTube doesn't give me the good ability to do that without flooding everybody, right? That's what's hard is I wish I could share more of just my personal life with the YouTube community, but YouTube has to be set up for like my scheduled programming because that's what people are accustomed to. And that's what people look for. So I try to carry over a lot of like my daily life stuff over into Instagram. But those of you that follow me or have seen that, I've been in the process of taking helicopter pilot lessons. So I'm trying to get my helicopter pilot's license. It's just been a goal of mine for a really long time. And ever since I was in middle school, and I figured now's the time. It's time to do a little self-care and actually do something that's fun. So anyway, here I am 2 days into my fast and I go into a helicopter lesson. Helicopters are difficult to fly, right? They're not easy. It's not like you're moving every appendage of your body. You're controlling your feet. You're using the cyclic with your right hand. You're using the collective with your left. You're moving every part of your body. So hovering alone is super difficult. And when you're fasted, I could do one thing, but the moment that I had to start doing other things, like I had to focus on talking on the radio, my mind just didn't work. It was like the hyper focus was there for one thing. And I know so many people have said, focus, focus, focus. They experienced that. Another thing I noticed I don't usually get that for some reason I got this time that probably had something to do with the fact that I started out with carbs was dizziness. I got some lightheadedness that I didn't usually get. And almost to the point of like I went for a walk in the evening again to keep my mind off of everything and just keep going. And it felt like I was floating. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone. Did anyone else kind of experience that? Anyone? I just comment the word floating. I mean, floating is the wrong word, but floating is kind of what it felt like. It's like I was walking and just felt kind of numb. Like it was just weird. I was just walking. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like feeling light isn't even the right word. It was like, it's so difficult to describe. Those of you who are saying floating, you get it. You get it. I was walking my kiddo to the park and I'm like coherent and clear, but I just felt like like everything was just kind of mildly numb. Everyone says they felt that. Okay. I guess as long as you know what's going on, it's kind of fun. But if you didn't know what was going on, it'd be kind of scary. So anyway, it was kind of cool. And what I did is I dove into a little bit of research later on. And usually what that is that's usually the act of gluconeogenesis actually taking place. And you sometimes have some ammonia byproducts that can make you feel that way. Now, that's kind of interesting stuff. Chris Latero has a super chat, says, thanks for everything, TDL. You've helped me more than you know. Can't wait to meet you in Toronto. You've taught me so much. Yeah, this is a good chance to say, guys, just so that you know, I'm going to be in Austin, Texas this weekend speaking at keto-con. I don't know if anyone here is interested in going to that, but I will be there. I will be speaking on Friday. I'll be speaking on Saturday, and I'll be doing some signings at the Redmond Real Salt booth and also at the Cauliflower Foods booth, just because I'm trying to consolidate where I meet people so that I can meet as many people as possible. So if you're in Texas, if you're close to Austin, I highly recommend that you come check it out. Go to keto-con. That way I can at least meet you. And then I'll be in Toronto at the end of August, speaking at the Fit Pro. So make sure that you check that out. And then I'll be speaking at Dr. Eric Berg's event the last weekend of August in Maryland. So that's just a little bit of an update of where I'll be. So you guys, if you're in the area and you want to come meet me and you want to hear me speak, or you just want to say hi, that's going to be where you can meet me. Let's talk really quick about how we break our fast. On Facebook, in the Facebook group, I talked a lot about this. I'm a big fan of breaking the fast with just lean proteins. Okay, and the reason I'm a fan of breaking it with just lean proteins is because if you break your fast with too much in the way of fats, it's hard for you digestively after a 3-day fast. You see, your gallbladder and your liver sort of ramps down production of the bile a little bit when you stop eating. So if you flood it with a bunch of fats, it's really hard on the body and you might get bloated. You don't feel so good. Plus, it can actually convert into insulin through a mechanism known as ACP, acylation stimulating protein. Won't go into the details there, but long story short is it can cause some issues. And then I keep the carbs lower simply because I don't want to spike my insulin super high, spike my glucose really high. I want to keep it under control. So I kept it just lean protein. Amber shredded some chicken. So I had shredded chicken with literally cooked bone broth into it. So shredded chicken, then mix it up with some bone broth so it had some flavor, a few spices, mild spices. I ate that. And then about 2 hours later, I introduced fats. And that's when I had my, what I call my chocolate moo-moos that I talk about all the time. So it's where I take almond milk or coconut milk, and I take like 2 or 3 tablespoons of coconut cream along with cacao, along with a little bit of stevia or monk fruit, mix that up in a magic bullet blender type thing. And it's like a really tasty kind of high fat, hot chocolate in a way that's sugar-free. That was my way of introducing fats. I wanted to introduce them through a mild way, such as, using the coconut cream. And I found that was great. So I went really lean chicken, then a couple hours later introduced fats, and then called it a day and went to bed. The biggest part of fasting, honestly, the most discipline is required when you're actually breaking your fast. The discipline when you're actually fasting is easy because it's just black and white. But once you have options is where things get difficult. Had another super chat come in from Ginger Ninja, just want to shout out. Said, had the focus floating issue too. GKI went under 1 though. What's your advice on good time frame to try again? That's a good question. So those of you that are looking to do another 3-day fast, I would give it at least a month, especially if this was your first one, give it at least a month. I don't recommend doing more than one 3-day fast per month. Try to do a 3-day fast like every 2 months for me personally. 36 hours is my jam. I love a 36-hour fast. Part of it is just the mastery, the element of mastery. So like a 24-hour fast is great because you go from like dinner to dinner or something like that. But for me, I think you really develop a good degree of mastery and accomplishment when you go through a full evening cycle of skipping dinner and going to bed. And those of you that have done longer term fasts, don't you realize that, don't you experience that? It's like the element of accomplishment where I survived an evening, because evenings are so tough. Like, because you come home and you just want to eat naturally. You come home from work and you just want to eat. But when you push through it and you go to bed hungry and then you get up and you're ready to roll and then you can break your fast, that's a great feeling. I really recommend that those of you try that. A 36-hour fast, I do those like once a week to once every 2 weeks. Usually once every 2 weeks. So I do at least a 24-hour fast once a week. I feel good with those. But I think that if you just implement that into your life a little bit more, you're going to feel really good with that. Another question came up. How was training? That's a good question. Okay, super chat that had come in from Keej Vang. So yeah, training was awesome. So training, the first day, I felt unusually strong. I made a point to orient it was a regular strength day, not a lot of cardio in that day. Did a little bit of post-workout cardio, but it was an upper body day. So I did some upper body moves, like full upper body. insanely strong. And I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that I had had carbs before I went into my fast. So it was probably just some glycogen buildup. But then the second day, I was scheduled to do a run. So I did like a 1,200 foot elevation run. It was only about a 4-mile run up and back, but a lot of elevation gain. That, I swear I could feel like fat from my love handles just getting incinerated. It was so awesome. So it was really cool. So I don't know, what kind of workouts did you guys do? Sally, you said, do you recommend a fast for a plateau? I do, but you also have to be careful. You don't want to just fast when you hit a plateau, because then you can, control your metabolism and bring it down a little bit more. I usually recommend for a plateau to actually take a diet break, actually take a week of just going up to maintenance calories and then hit it with a fast. If you just hit a plateau and say, I'm going to fast right now, sometimes that causes some big problems because you're already in a deficit. You're putting yourself in a deeper deficit, which isn't always the answer. So I recommend going up in calories just a little bit for like a week. It's called a diet break, and then go into an aggressive drop with a fast. That's going to work a lot better. Notice we've got like 1.4 thousand people on this broadcast. Do you guys mind if you're watching this video, can you hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button? What that does is, like, YouTube does rank videos to some degree based on a like to dislike ratio. So I do appreciate if you could just hit that like button, just if you're there on the desktop or if you're on your phone, if you pound that little thumbs up button, it ranks this video a little bit higher. So that way more of the subscribers see it. It's not about like Facebook where I'm trying to just get other random people to see it. I want my subscribers to see this. I don't want it to get buried. Wow, a lot of people did some really good workouts. A lot of people did some high intensity interval training. What did you feel when you were working out? See, I actually felt, I had that kind of floaty feeling where I just felt kind of numb. But all in all, I felt like I could have kept going at a relatively low intensity. It wasn't until I started pushing higher intensity that things got tougher on like the second and third days. But strength was decent. Endurance was decent. I just felt like I didn't have that super high aerobic capacity. Ted says he had zero energy during workouts. William said he was floating during his free weights. Jacob says, I'm a milkman, so I work out all day. Yeah, you definitely do. You were definitely burning some fat then. So, wow. Oh man, so many people coming in with and if you guys have just joined in here, can you please also comment where you're watching from? It helps me know where people are watching from, where my fan base is, where people that did this. Ryan in a super chat here says, is it okay to do blood work during a longer fast? Yeah, just know that your results are going to be skewed. Your triglycerides might come down a little bit more. Your liver enzymes might actually go up because sometimes the liver processing actually increases. The liver has to do a lot of work during a fast, okay? Because remember, the liver is cleaning. The liver is your janitorial crew when you're fasting. So the liver sometimes has to upregulate enzymatic activity. So I've actually seen my ALT and my AST enzymes go up during a fast, like actually registering numbers I shouldn't register, and then off a fast, or just the normal 12-hour fast like you do for blood work, it comes back to normal. So definitely interesting. That's why they say fast for 12 hours. If you fast longer than that, sometimes other things happen. So you just have to, manage that a little bit. Man, I can't believe how many people are on this broadcast. It's so great to see this. I want to say how many people that are watching this right now, how many people was it their first 3-day fast? I want to see really quick, just by quick show of comments, just say first. That way I know, because I think we've got a lot of first timers. And then if it's your second, comment your second. I just want to know, okay, already a ton of first. That's great. Nismo to Tank super chat says, recently did a 4-day fast. It was much easier than when I applied your tips. I'm going for a 7. I'm glad that the tips worked. I'm really glad, because honestly, putting a little bit of salt in your water, having a little bit of green tea, reducing the caffeine on a longer fast, they do help you out. Wow, so many people did. This is like their first time. That is crazy. So that right there makes this worth it for me, because so many people did this for the first time, and now they've realized that it's not as difficult as they thought, and it is attainable, and they can absolutely do this again. So that makes me really happy right then and there. Some people saying second, some people saying it's their third 3-day fast. So I recommend, make this part of your lifestyle every 3 months or so. Implement it when you can. 48-hour fast once a month, 24-hour fast, maybe even once a week, once every 2 weeks. Play around with the 36-hour fasts. What time of day was the biggest struggle for all you guys? Did you, for me, it was the evening, again, because it was like in the evening, it was so difficult for me because Amber was cooking food, the baby was eating, I had to be there. But some people say the morning's the toughest. I personally felt fine in the morning. I think I had enough just natural CCK, cholecystokinin kind of pumping. So I felt good in the morning. I felt good in the afternoon. A lot of people saying lunch was tough. A lot of people saying midday. Interesting. See, I think I set my day up so that I was ridiculously busy. Let me show you. This is kind of funny. You guys are going to find this funny. Like these were my days. Like I just back to back meetings and scheduled things because I was like, I'm going to keep myself occupied. And that's the goal, because the moment that you let yourself get inside your head is the moment that things start to happen. So you got to keep yourself occupied. That's the trick. And come evening time, I'm settling down and I'm no longer occupied, and mine was just taking over. So a lot of people say midday. So that's a common one too, though. Not a lot of people saying morning. See, morning is pretty easy. It's like you wake up and you can just pound your water, have some salt, have some coffee. And coffee has such a powerful appetite suppressing effect. So here's something kind of cool. Here's what was happening inside your gut, your whole gut, just so you know. When you go for an extended period of time when you're fasting, you're finally giving a chance for the cleaning crew to come in. So I always say that gut motility increases. The reason you get the rumblies in your tummy is because that is gut motility. Your gut starts encouraging movement because it's trying to clean the system. So that rumbling is your stomach muscles contracting, but it's also your gut motility, things getting moving. Now, that's going to be something that's going to help you out. And what ends up happening is, envision it like this. When you leave the office is when the janitorial crew comes in and starts cleaning your office, right? Well, the same kind of thing with fasting. When the food leaves your system is the only time that you can truly get a deep cleaning. So you are getting a deep cleaning. That's what's pretty cool. So you actually might find that you digest things a little bit easier. But those of you that are now eating, are you finding that you're super full easy and that you actually get bloated easy? Brett Charles says, what do you recommend for your fasting schedule for the next week? I'm going to take 2 days off from fasting. Then I'll do a 24-hour fast on Friday. And then I will get back to a normal regime on Monday. So because I'm going to be in Austin, I've got some dinner functions to go to. So I know I'm going to end up eating, and I want to eat the food that's going to be there. It's going to be some good, high quality foods. So I just want to enjoy. So hopefully that kind of helps you out a little bit. Yeah, a lot of people saying they're feeling bloated. And in Socrates Zayas, another super chat says, just a thank you for all the value you've given me. By the way, this is Socrates on IG. Thank you, and hope Amber liked the birthday ukulele DM. I don't know if she saw that. I'll ask her. I appreciate that, though. Thank you very much. I'm sorry for there's like this spam chat that keeps coming in, and I'm trying to find a way that I can block it really quick. But hang on real quick. I think I figured it out. There we go. Okay. So I was able to just hide the chat. There was just a bunch of spam coming in. Someone's just posting links. So get back on track here. So anyway, that's kind of the whole idea behind the gut motility thing. It's your janitorial crews actually getting a chance to come in and do the job. Guys, can we get one more round of just people hitting that like button? And notice we've got like 1.4 thousand people on this, but 640 likes. I'd love to just, if you hit that the bell icon. I've been filming all day, so you know my intro, how I always say, hit the bell icon. I guess I'm in that mode. And I'm not going to lie, my brain doesn't feel amazing after breaking the fast. It's like once the food came back in, it's like, oh, my brain's like, no, I missed the fast. So, but anyhow, guys, I really just wanted to hop on here, say thank you. But also, again, for those of you that came in a little bit later, I wanted to explain the reason that most of these, actually, I got a super chat I want to answer really quick before I say this. Tom Woodall says, is daily 16-8 plus 1 3-day fast per month a good balance of autophagy and anabolism? I'd say it is, but I'd back down your fasting to 5 days per week or 4 days per week. So you're not fasting every single day. Give your body a chance to recover a little bit there. And then Robbie Ray says, lemons and limes are both off of a fast. For short-term fast, 24 hours, lemons and limes are okay. For longer-term fast, try to push it without lemons and limes. Mike Septon says, I'm a chef, so it's always tough to fast. As the chef, I'm required to taste foods for my cooks. I try to take a small taste. Yeah, I thought about people like you. I was like, how does that happen? Like, because you've got to taste what you're cooking. You can't just, anyhow, it's, guys, let me go ahead and explain something really quick, though, because a lot of people have popped on here. The reason I didn't do live broadcasts on YouTube throughout was because I didn't want everyone to just get plastered with notifications. That's why I created the Facebook group. I did that not because it was a money thing. The Facebook group was free. Like, it wasn't like, I know some people had said, oh, you only created a Facebook group for the money. No. That's not, like, the Facebook group was free. I just wanted to create a place where people could have a community where I could post frequently, because I posted like 5 live broadcasts a day in that Facebook group. So I was trying to get people there because it's an easier place to be able to continually post and not hammer them with notifications. So, and I know not everyone has Facebook, but there was no ecosystem on YouTube for me to do that. it would have just been sending notifications and just bothering everybody. Honestly, it would have lost a ton of subscribers. It would have made it really tough. So that's why I did the best that I could. And my best idea was, okay, well, I can at least create a Facebook page or a group where people can go, and I can do as many updates there as possible. And for everyone else, I'll do a recap video and we'll talk about things, and we'll have as much fun as we can. So I apologize if that upset anyone. I really wasn't trying to disclude anybody. I was well aware that some people wouldn't have Facebook, but guys, you got to understand, my hands are tied. Think about all the different people I have to try to satisfy. So I was trying to do what I could to get as many people involved. So I really do, from the bottom of my heart, I apologize. I don't want people to feel like that. That's the whole purpose of this challenge, was to get people excited and motivated and feel like a community. So I'm sorry. I saw that in the comments in today's video, and so many people felt discouraged because they don't have Facebook, and I was just trying to do a good thing. So I'm sorry about that. But anyway, YouTube is better. Facebook, quite frankly, Facebook sucks. But as far as a group functionality, I wish YouTube had a functionality for me to create a private group. So if I did a challenge like this, wouldn't it be cool if YouTube had an ability for me to create a group like I did on Facebook, like a YouTube group, being like, hey, these are the people that are doing the challenge, so I want them to be in this group, and I can put out videos that only go to that group. It would be so nice, because then I could talk to you guys directly, not upset or piss off anybody else. I don't know. So everyone's saying, yeah, that would be super awesome. So anyhow, guys, I ended up losing close to 11 pounds. So I don't know where it all came from, because I thought I was pretty lean, but I was pretty happy. So anyhow, I think I'm going to hop on off. I got to go get ready because I'm leaving tomorrow for Austin, Texas. Do we have anyone that's in Austin right now that lives? Let me delete this. We've got an annoying spammer. This is the second one I've had to block. There we go. Anyone in Austin, Texas, go ahead and just comment Austin, because if you're in Austin, I'm going to be speaking at keto-con this weekend. So I'm going to be in Austin. So I highly recommend. It's at the Palmer Event Center in Austin, and it's really inexpensive to go there to this event. And I'm going to be speaking at 1:40 p.m. on Saturday. So highly recommend, if you're in the area, you have nothing to do, and you want to come meet me, that's going to be the place to do it. So lots of people in Austin. Awesome. All right, you guys, I appreciate everything. If you can, just, continue to chat amongst yourselves, do whatever you want, but I got to hop off, go get ready to go to Austin. Thank you guys very much, and talk to you all soon.